All right. Today marks the culmination of several years of hard work by everyone assembled.
This today is such a special day, not only for our community today, but for future generations to come. So I would just like to take just a couple minutes to read the proclamation and sign it, because again, I believe this is a very special day, and I'm signing it on behalf of all of the residents of Maui County. It reads, whereas Lipoa Point, located north of Kapalua, West Maui, is one of the most iconic landmarks in Hawaii and is part of an area known as the Ahupua'a for Honolua. And whereas Lipoa Point is part of the Honolua Mokuleia Life Conservation District, which provides breathtaking views of the rugged West Maui coastline. And whereas Lipoa Point and Honolua Bay is a very special place with irreplaceable Hawaiian cultural sites, where the Hawaiian voyaging canoe Hokulea departed from her maiden voyage in 1976. It is also the site of many archaeological finds, including 2 heiau, boulders and grinding surfaces, house platforms, burial mounds, and archaeological terraces. And whereas Lipoa Point and Honolua Bay have a rich marine ecosystem, having the highest fish assemblage characteristics of all Hawaiian islands. And whereas Lipoa Point and Honolua Bay are popular recreational activities for snorkeling and surfing, attracting countless visitors, subsequently generating revenues for the state's top visitor industry. Whereas Lipoa Point's acquisition by the state removes the threat of development, preserving the land in perpetuity for generations to come, and make the way for the creation of a management plan. Now therefore, I, Shan S. Tutsui, Acting Governor of the State of Hawaii, do hereby proclaim October 9, 2014 as Lipoa Point Day in Hawaii, and ask all the people of the Aloha State to join me in recognizing and participating in its observance, done at the State Capitol Executive Chambers on this 9th day of October. So thank you and congratulations to all of you.
Back about 5 to 6 years ago, MLP's financial situation was quite challenged. We'd experienced a recession and a downturn in the real estate market, just as we had begun marketing the new Kapalua Bay Residences project. In addition, Maui Pineapple Company had suffered years of significant losses due to the change in business direction from a cannery to fresh pack operations. As we contemplated our strategic options, bankruptcy was a real possibility if we didn't make drastic and dramatic changes. And one of the toughest decisions that our board made was to shut down Maui Pineapple Company. And in doing so, we were very well aware that continued losses would eventually lead to bankruptcy and the loss of continued pensions for our retirees and the hundreds of current employees. And as part of that transition, we worked with Darren Strand and Rudy Balala to lease our upcountry lands and facilities to the newly formed Hali'imaile Pineapple Company. Thank you, Rudy. We also worked on cutting our losses on the Kapalua Bay Residences project, and we had to dramatically change MLP's business model. And those corporate moves slowly began to pay benefits, but the company's pension plan remained severely underfunded. The Pension Benefits Guarantee Corporation, or PBGC, stepped in, and they insisted that we pay PBGC insurance premiums. We also had to pledge a substantial amount of our lands in April 2012 to protect the pension in the event of bankruptcy or a similar event. It was during this time that Mayor Aokawa and the members of the council began to explore creative ways to acquire and preserve Lipoa Point. Alternatives such as park credits, allowing short-term rentals at Kapalua Mauka, and other ideas were discussed. So to Mayor Aokawa and the council members, thank you very much for your concern and your willingness to initially look for solutions to this huge problem. And then during the 2013 legislature, many groups came together to jointly pass House Bill 1424, which directed the Department of Land and Natural Resources to acquire Lipoa Point. $20 million in general obligation bond financing was also included in the budget during that 2013 session. The legislation would not have passed if it were not for the work of Speaker Joe Suki, Representative Angus McKelvey, Senator Gil Keith Agaran, and Representative Justin Woodson. So we thank all of you for your determination and your efforts to get the bill passed, which then became Act 241. Our labor partners, the ILWU, were also key players in getting the bill passed. There are many representatives here today from the ILWU, Guy Fujimura, Steve Castro, and Tiri Espineta. I would also be remiss in not recognizing and mentioning Willie Kennison and Donna Domingo for their efforts as well. And thank you on behalf of the 1,000 ILWU retirees who will now be able to enjoy their retirement knowing that their pensions are fully funded. Also instrumental during the session were representatives from the Hawaii Isle Land Trust, and we're happy that Ted Clement is here today. Thank you, Ted. Once Act 241 was signed, our MLP team, led by Timmy Saki and Ryan Churchill, began to work with Russell Tsuji and the DLNR staff on the many issues involving surveys, environmental studies, and they had to coordinate among various state agencies. And after about 15 months of outstanding cooperation, which in state government time is like, very short, between the various private and public entities, we are all gathered here to celebrate this win-win situation today. Because of your collective efforts, the state has acquired an iconic parcel of land that is rich with marine, cultural, and recreational resources. MLP's pension is now fully funded, and our 1,600 retirees have the financial security that they richly deserve after dedicating their lives for so many years. And lastly, Maui Gold pineapple continues to be grown due to the efforts of the Hali'imaile Pineapple Company. So thanks to Rudy, Doug, and Doug. The one person that was a driving force behind all of this within the state administration who ensured everything was done was none other than Lieutenant Governor Shan Tsutsui. I want to thank him for leading the way, and also Ross Tsukendro, Chief of Staff for the Lieutenant Governor, for your hard work and diligence.
I had the opportunity to actually go out to the site with staff to see what state had acquired. And it's a beautiful coastal piece of property. And it reminded me of this quote by John Muir, who was a great American conservationist, who said that everybody needs beauty as well as bread, places to play in and pray in, where nature may heal and give strength to body and soul. And I think that this area captures that sentiment. I think that the public has invested well in this property for current and future generations. As someone from Maui and family on Maui, I'm very proud to be able to take my son there one day and enjoy that beautiful area. None of this, of course, couldn't have happened without the leadership of many of the people in this room, including the Lieutenant Governor, Maui Land and Pine, ILWU, the legislature, and the council members to make this all happen. It's a great, great accomplishment. So, what will the department do now that we acquired this property? The department will sustainably manage the area to ensure that the cultural, recreational, and historic elements of it are preserved in perpetuity for the people of Hawaii. And in doing that, we can't do it alone. The department, if you hear us testify at the Ledge, we're always talking about how we need more money for management and resources. That's my shout out for my staff. But we need to engage the community, of course, and people who are interested and have participated in this process, like HILT and Honolulu Coalition, and other members of the community. The Native Hawaiian community has been talking to us as well. And so we're going to engage in a planning process and a framework to start talking about how we can better manage the property for those reasons. And we look forward to your support in moving that forward. Thank you.